Top of it, top of it, top of it. It's your boy Coach One Stack, man. Tapped in, dropping y'all some more game, you dig? So you're not here looking lame, you dig what I'm saying? Now, man, we're gonna, in this video, you know I like to get straight to it, people. I don't like to hold y'all, man. We're gonna get into the conditions of P. Diddy's release after he serves his 50 months. Now, see, that, and that's the thing, right? 50 months. Guys, Diddy may have to make some decisions while he's on the other side of that wall that may end up giving him more than 50 months. Can you dig what I'm saying? For those of y'all who've been to the penitentiary before, I haven't, but I know a lot of people who have. Hey, he's going to have to choose a side. He is a black man, so he's going to have to ride with the blacks in a black car. Hey, he will be paying for protection. But if he does get up out of this, hey, he gonna have some terms for his release that are kind of unheard of, and they're gonna be real sticky that could end him back in prison for at least 5 years or the remainder of his sentence. But before I get into this video, man, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so they know I'm doing my job, people. And guys, thank you for everybody that's been following the channel from day one. You dig? So now, with Diddy, you know, make sure you stay to the end because you know I got a video for you. With Diddy, you know, he was sentenced to 50 months. And when you're sentenced to the feds for any period of time, when you get out, you have a mandatory 5 years of parole. So I don't care what you go to the feds for. You can go to the feds for 6 months. You can go to the feds for 1 year. When you get out, it is the status quo that you are on a 5-year parole. And during that parole, you cannot have Diddy won't be able to have any contact with any felons, any known felons, be around any drugs, be around any be around any firearms, period. He won't even be able to have a bullet. So, I mean, you can't be around people of ill repute. And if you don't know what ill repute is, go look it up. But basically, these conditions that he has will be the things that will send him back to the penitentiary. Because due to Diddy's lifestyle, man, he can't stop throwing these parties. He can't stop having people around him. Diddy is not one of these men that can sit by himself. So, guys, let me show you some of the conditions. Let me show you some of the conditions of his parole that he's going to have to abide by.
Detailing the strict conditions for Sean Diddy Combs following his prison sentence. The disgraced music mogul will be under a supervised release for 5 years after he gets out from behind bars. The requirements include mandatory participation in a domestic violence program.
He also won't be allowed to contact any of the victims in the case or, quote, encourage anyone else to contact them. This all comes as Diddy is currently serving a 4-year prison sentence at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. NBC News legal analyst Angela Senadella.
And see, and that's one thing right there. This is why Diddy was not given any bail and why he's locked up right now to this point. Because they don't want him tampering with anybody that has something to do with this trial, any witnesses, any victims, or anybody. Because, hey, there's still a lot of dirt out there on Diddy. You dig what I'm saying? And they do not want him speaking to anybody. If they had it their way, they would put him in a box with no phone and he wouldn't be able to talk to anybody for those 50 months. You dig? So because, hey, and that's a big one, tampering with people. This is why he's currently locked up still right now. But let's get back to some of this video.
Joins us now. Angela, good to have you here on set. So what else are we learning about the conditions of Sean Combs' release? And is this all pretty par for the course, pretty standard?
Yeah, so look, a lot of these conditions sound pretty harsh, but they're pretty standard. Things, as you mentioned, like no contact with victims, also no contact with other criminals, no access to firearms, also unsupervised or drop-in visits from probation officers at any time, mandatory employment. So many of these are standard. But what I do think is notable is the addition of required treatment programs. And it's not just one, right? It is domestic violence, but also drug abuse and also mental health. Yeah. The reason why it's so notable is because we all remember the defense described this as a modern love story. And even though Combs was acquitted of the most egregious charges, it's really a message from the court saying there's really still something that is not right here. There's treatment that is required. There's issues that need to be resolved.
Now, The reason why they feel that it's issues that need to be resolved is because while Diddy has been sitting in the feds, holding cell down in jail, in Brooklyn, what he should have been doing, instead of starting a group to show people how to conduct business and start their own businesses, what he should have been doing was taking drug and alcohol counseling. He should have been taking mental health counseling, and he should have been taking domestic violence or impulse control counseling. He should have done that the day he walked into jail. And if he had started that the day he walked into jail, he may have walked off with probation, because not only does that show remorse, but it shows that you have a problem and you're trying to fix your problem. And the thing is, most people don't even admit they have a problem. And the court, believe it or not, when you come in there and you say that you having a drug problem or mental health problem, domestic violence problem, per the courts, they look at that as a sickness now. They say that you're actually sick. It's a disease, and and they go a lot easier on you if you recognize that and you started getting help before they ask you. But since he's never done it, the judge feels like, hey man, the judge feels like, well, damn, who is he not to try to get some drug counseling and some domestic violence counseling with all these videos and all this stuff coming out, and I gotta sentence this dude? Well, guess what? I'm gonna make him do it anyway. But he's gonna be taking these programs. That's what they call programming in the penitentiary. And he's gonna be doing a lot of this programming to begin with. All right, let's get back to some more of this video.
Tell us a little bit about his living conditions, because I know that he's currently in Brooklyn, but he's actually asked to be moved to a federal facility. Why? What would that do to his living conditions? Okay, so very specifically, he's requesting to be moved to Fort Dix, to a low security prison. So that would very much improve his living conditions from where he is in Brooklyn. So this low security prison is more like a dorm-like setting, and also has a specific drug abuse treatment program that he's requesting to be a part of. And sometimes people who go through this program successfully can get time off at the end.
Mm-hmm. Well, Angela, we also know that Diddy is going to be required to work 30 hours a week upon his release. Do we know if that's he can just do whatever he wants? He's the owner, obviously, of a company, CEO. Or is this something that the state or the courts are going to mandate?
So this is interesting. It is pretty standard, and the legal language is work conscientiously at suitable employment. So it doesn't mean that the...
Now, that's another thing, guys. When you have to get a job, excuse me, just because you are a rapper does not mean that you can go back to rapping. It is all going to be up to his parole officer on what a job is. See, they don't care that he owns Bad Boy. They could very well tell Diddy, you need to go get you a 9-to-5 at 7-Eleven or somewhere else, getting a legal paycheck, doing actual work. See, being the owner of a record company, he's not going to be able to sit around in his mansion with a house arrest bracelet on and saying, yeah, I worked my 30 hours. Yeah, I did this, and have people sign off on it. No, they're going to make sure, just like when Chris Brown got in that trouble with Rihanna, they made sure he did that community service work. He actually did every hour he was supposed to. And in this Diddy situation, they're going to make him get a real job. And let's not forget that search and seizure clause, your Fourth Amendment. When you are on parole or probation, you have given up your right to your Fourth Amendment, which means that his probation or his parole officer at any time, at any place, at any location can stop him and detain him, search his person, search his car, search his house. You dig what I'm saying? He could, and not only that, dude, now we have social media out that his parole officer could very well see Diddy doing something on his social media and send the police to wherever he's at and give them the power to stop and search him. So the actual police just can't stop and do anything they want to do to Diddy. But his parole officer can, but they can pass that power on. Like they can say, hey, I give you the power to search my client. You dig what I'm saying? I'm going to give you my power, and I need you to search his car. I need you to search his house. And if he needs to be detained, I need you to detain him, right? So that could very well happen as well. So Diddy is not out in the clear, and he's not going to be able to just walk around and live the way that he wants to live.
government can tell him what job to do, but it does mean that the probation officer can veto what he chooses. And the real point here
I just said that.
Access and rehabilitation and not a lot of free time, requiring structure. So given that his employment is generally self-employment and a lot of free time, it's not clear here how the probation officer will respond to that, what sort of restrictions they will put. But yeah, the probation officer can say, this is not okay. Too much free time on your hands.
Angela, how often are these transfer requests?
Just like I said, guys, this stuff ain't hard. Like I said, I'm ex-law enforcement. I'm ex-street, delivered by God for the last 8 years, guys. That's my first time even watching that video. So see, everything I told you guys was on point with what the legal system says. That his parole officer does not have to allow him to say, hey, I work for Bad Boy, I'm a CEO. I'm working my 30 hours. No, he could actually make him go get a job at 7-Eleven. He could make Diddy go get a job at Subway or McDonald's if he wanted to belittle him and make sure he worked that 30 hours. Because basically when you on parole or you're on probation, guess what? Your PO, that's your daddy. And your daddy, you have to do whatever your daddy says, or you have to go back to serve the remainder of your sentence. Hey, guys, that's all the time I wanted, just to drop these conditions on you guys. So make sure you like the channel, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, hit the notification bell, and in the comments, guys, let's get 200 comments below. And you guys let me know, what kind of job do you think Diddy's parole officer will make him get? But remember, stay blessed, never stress, never getting finessed, and getting plenty of rest. Stay the fuck out of trouble.